Welcome to another Amazing Stories Unwrapped. We believe that your story really is amazing. It's amazing because God is writing it, and God never authors anything less than a blockbuster story. The best lines and chapters of your amazing life are still waiting to be written. And that's why this Facebook Live program exists, to inspire you, to encourage you and motivate you with positive, life-affirming stories that will help you overcome life's adversities and triumph. All because we want your story to become the best ever. Today, let's give a shout out to doing the right thing. In an ethically challenged age, I'd like to talk about integrity. Doing the right thing for no other reason than it's the right thing to do. At a time when most folks ask, what's in it for me? Maybe it's time to remember something that the early Puritans in colonial America used to say. With this, doing right is its own reward. I'm talking about that deep sense of satisfaction that comes from doing the right thing. That inner feeling that is far better than all the applause, all the kudos, all the money, or all the other rewards that anyone could ever give you for doing the right thing. Let me illustrate with a story I call The Right Stuff. Teens too often get a bad rap from the older generation. But every once in a while, a teenager rises up to make us all proud. James Pearson III has an impressive name, but he's a pretty ordinary 14-year-old from Shepherd, Michigan. He isn't very tall, and with his shaggy haircut, he could use a trip to the barber. He probably plays too many video games and watches too much television, spends too much time on his social media devices, but he astounded everyone on a January night in 2013. The teen was babysitting his brother and sister when he heard pounding on the front door. A college student outside was frantically screaming, "Let me in! For God's sake, let me in!" Now, it took courage for James to open that door. The wild-eyed woman ran into the kitchen, shouting hysterically that a rapist had tried to kidnap her, had chased her to this house with murderous intent. She screamed that the children needed to hide quickly. So James, the teenager, remembered his father's instructions that, well, in the case of danger or emergency, his kids should get into the bathroom that had no windows. So James herded the women and his two siblings into the empty tub and told them to keep quiet. He shut the door, ran into his bedroom to retrieve a hunting knife. He called his dad on his cell phone, said to him, "Dad, you need to get home quick. There's a man outside, and he wants to kill us all." James' dad sped off for his house. Meanwhile, the woman's enraged attacked her, poured gasoline all over the house, and then set it on fire before he took off. When James Pearson Jr. cut his lights off as he neared his driveway, his heart sank because he saw the bottom part of his house on fire. Now, he didn't know if the attacker was inside or if his family was still alive. So he smashed a window in an attempt to dive through. His kids were shaken, but the college girl had managed to calm them down a bit. The police manhunt quickly found her attacker, Eric Ramsey. During the shootout, Ramsey was killed. Later, it was discovered that Ramsey was one bad dude. He had kidnapped the woman at gunpoint. He had tied her up, taken her to his house, where he raped her repeatedly that night. He was on his way to a deserted place where he planned to kill her when she jumped out of the moving car and ran up to the Pearson front door. The teenager's calm handling of the situation and his heroic stand against a crazed killer made national headlines. He was touted as a hero by the media. But his dad said, "I'm proud of my son, but he's no hero. He just did the right thing." That may seem strange to say in an era of self-congratulation, But maybe Mr. Pearson was right. Hero is one of the most overused words in America today. By using that word indiscriminately, we have devalued and trivialized its once sacred meaning. So it's refreshing to hear someone say that doing the right thing is not necessarily heroic. It's just right. Doing the right thing is always the right thing. I like what the Old Testament prophet Isaiah said some 2,700 years ago. Learn to do good, seek justice, help the oppressed, defend the cause of orphans, and may I add, the unborn, fight for the rights of widows. So today, my challenge to you is to do the right thing. Now that may be difficult today because we have so many definitions of what is right. I mean, all of us, I think, or many of us at least, were shocked with the recent ruling in New York where the legislature passed a bill legalizing abortion up to the moment of birth. We were further shocked a few days later when the governor of the Commonwealth of Virginia actually said that it was appropriate that after a baby's born, that the mother, in cooperation with her doctors, should decide whether that baby was worthy to live or not. We live in a crazy world where the right thing is often what before was the wrong thing, and what people consider the wrong thing is, in God's estimation, the right thing. So I would say to you, first of all, you need to get the right definition about the wrong thing. And whether you're a Christian or not, a person of faith or not, I would recommend to you that you go to the greatest book of all, in my estimation, God's revelation in the Bible. There, in the book of Proverbs and other books of the Bible, you will find principles for living. It was John Adams, the second president of our country, who said that all of our institutions, all of our laws, everything we hold sacred, came from that moment when Moses brought down the Ten Commandments, God's law from Mount Sinai. And so look for objective standards of right. And once you discover those, do the right thing, no matter what it costs. Do the right thing, whether you are rewarded or not. I'll guarantee you, the greatest reward of all is to be able to put your head on the pillow at night and know today, in that difficult situation, in a situation that maybe no one else would have done the right thing, I did the right thing. And then finally, I would say to you that, well, there's a verse in the Bible that says, it is appointed unto a person once to die, and then to face the God who created that person, and to give an account for his life. And that's what I want. That's what I want for you too. To be able to stand before God and say, I did the right thing. I want to remind you of a verse from James that says, pure and undefiled religion is this: to help the widow, to help the orphan, to help those that are in distress. So do the right thing today. You'll be glad you did. As the Puritans used to say, it is its own reward. God bless. We'll see you next Tuesday for another edition of Amazing Stories Unwrapped.